Okay, so Neville Goddard time. We are looking at the power of awareness. And I think one of the building blocks is daring to assume we are who we want to be now. I think it is the cornerstone for me when I look at Neville Goddard's work. And so if I can dare to assume to be the person I wish to be now, and I can embody that in my imagination, it will come to fruition. Everything that once was, everything that is once was something in someone's imagination. Everything. And so we can do that too. We can embrace that concept. That's not just for, captains of industry or artists at the top of the game. It's for all of us. And of course, we can become that if we want to. But what's really key is thinking about the qualities that you desire to have now. Maybe writing them down. In fact, I would definitely suggest writing them down, because when we connect our thoughts with a pen to paper, it's very powerful to really get into our spirit, what we're kind of looking to connect with the source within, what we're kind of looking at doing, what we kind of are looking at going towards. And I found it as a super helpful thing for myself. So when we do this, we are connecting with what we prefer. We are connecting with who we desire to be. And we can become that person, and we can dare to assume it now. It doesn't take planning and years of thinking about this, but of course, all of us, we want something because we think we'll feel better in the having of it. But if we give it to ourselves in imagination, then we're done. Then we have it. And if the world of appearances is just that, as Neville would say, these are just outward things that we are looking at that are part of what's going on with us. They're just a reflection. They're changeable by us doing the inner work. And of course, inner work has looked the same, since the dawn of time, since we decided we wanted improvement in our lives. So it's always up to us to make these changes, and then the world outside will mirror those changes. So if we dare to assume we are the person we wish to be now, just sit with that and think about what that looks like for you, and think about what you would prefer. For myself, this also goes along with Joseph Murphy's book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, which I highly recommend. And of course, he had the same teacher, Abdullah, as did Neville. So great stuff there. Very similar messages. Just, I would say, with Joseph Murphy, it's just more examples and more detail. It's just a longer work, right? The power of the subconscious mind, I'm speaking in particularly of, say, compared to the power of awareness. But the power of awareness is, of course, impactful because of its compact nature, and it just delivers that punch. But they're both wonderful. Back to my auto-suggestion that I used to help kind of solidify, I was noticing I did have a bit of a pattern of not addressing negative thoughts and allowing them to start affecting my body. So dis-ease starts in the mind, and when we know we really need to tend to it is when something hurts on our body. And then that's a lovely indicator, that help is on the way, because source is always with us, and source wants the best for us. So source is always with us. But to notice something, have I been potentially upset about something, complaining about something, holding someone else as the guardian of my feelings instead of myself, and giving them the power of letting them make me feel bad? Have I been doing that for an extended period of time? Have I been overly hard on myself for an extended period of time? Neither of these things serve us. And what I noticed for myself was if I got into a period of sadness or disappointment that I didn't address, and that I focused too hard on that and I kind of harped on it in my brain. Our brains will do that unchecked if we don't do something about it. So I did notice that, oh yes, I'm being hard on myself. You know, my body is telling me something by this cough or this congestion or this headache. You know, it can be a myriad of different things, which they were all, you know, I have a very good relationship with my cells and my body, which I've tended to for years and years and years. So these would just show up as very light afflictions. They would not be anything great. But they would, maybe I would have to take a day off work, or I would, you know, have to try to work through pre-pandemic, you know, some of these things, you know, and not feel so good. But what I did start doing once I read The Power of the Subconscious Mind earlier this year was I made a great point of one of his affirmations / auto-suggestions of, I am healthy. Any affliction I feel is temporary and is passing away. And honestly, it has brought me so much stability in my health. So I highly recommend, you know, you do want to feel the feeling as well as saying it. I would say with this one especially, I would say robotic affirmations are not enough, but anything that we can train the mind to look in a different direction rather than problem solving in the doomsday kind of way of worst case scenario. Anything that we can kind of gently start a new groove of oh, what if this does all work out? Everything is always working out for me, a la Abraham Hicks. All these kind of other grooves that we can create in time and focus on these better feeling thoughts. So what I noticed for me was I just really haven't been sick at all. I think I wasn't feeling well in January, if I remember correctly there. And this is before I had read the book, before I did the work. So I had come back from a flight and I wasn't feeling my best self for a couple of days. But other than that, that was the only time that anything really got me down. I work in TV. We had a COVID outbreak that did not affect me. And other people went down with minor illnesses around me. It didn't happen to me because I kept that at the forefront of my mind. And at this time too, I was kind of listening. I was biking to work and I was listening to The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, or I was listening to The Power of Awareness by Neville very consistently. And Feeling is a Secret, I was listening to Feeling is a Secret by Neville as well. So I was just kind of keeping those new pathways active. And even though it's long working days and can be stressful, it's busy, it's fast paced. Whoops, knocked my tripod there. Even though those things were happening, my health remained intact. Yeah, I did a lot of resting on the weekend, so I wasn't super social, so that's a bit of a bummer. But I honestly was in my health. You know, I was really grounded in my health. And so I really recommend that. That one is such a nice one to connect with when it comes to health. And it's like, no, I am healthy now, not in the future, not after I get over this cold. I'm healthy right now. This affliction, this minor affliction, is passing away easily. And anytime anything kind of creeps up for me, because I've practiced this for quite a while, that's just a given for me. I am healthy. And so one thing I would suggest, if there's anything in your life that is a bit of a touchstone in that way, to stack another affirmation on top of it. So, you know, if you're looking for a relationship, and let's say that you really appreciate your job and you know that you're well able at your job, and that's kind of something that's always true for you. You can start with that. You know, I I am blessed to have this job. I am blessed to do well at this job. I am well able at work. I am well able at work. I am blessed at work. I'm favored at work. Something that you really do already feel is true. And then if you're looking for that relationship, you can just stack on however the end of it looks for you. So I am blissfully, happily married is something that Neville has mentioned as, if someone wishes to be married and to imagine the wedding ring already on your finger. Visualization and feeling in our visualizations is really powerful. So anytime we can connect with that visualization of being powerful and living in the end, especially falling asleep, I highly recommend the state akin to sleep or falling asleep in the wish fulfilled. So if that doesn't feel like the right time for you, so you want to do it at a different time of day, so state akin to sleep, as Neville says, feel the drowsiness and then get inside your visualization like Neville did when he wanted to be released from the army and he wanted to be back with his family. So there's these things that that we can add to once we create a base habit of something that works for us. We can stack on top and on top and on top. So for me, the base habit that I have crafted over several years was that I love my physical body. And even if I didn't feel like I was like, let's say what society thinks is of a perfect body, or like maybe I don't look like a model, it didn't matter because I loved my physical body, because it's A, mine, and B, it doesn't matter what society thinks of it, only matters what I think of it. And we can always do the best of what we have. We can always move more. We can always make higher nutritionally dense food choices. So we have parameters that we can move around in. But at the very base of it was I love my physical body, which I've been saying for about 2 years. But I would say, and then I love my cells, because our cells are omniscient. They know everything. They are connected to source. They're there for me. They serve me. So they are mine, which I can enjoy them and appreciate them. And again, with I am healthy, any light affliction is passing away, we have the other of Abraham Hicks would say, help is on the way. So when we don't feel right, something inside ourselves, just we've got a little ache or pain, or even a great ache or pain, it does mean that help is on the way. And when we acknowledge that, we're on our way to moving through it, and allowing the grace of ourselves to seek the balance that they desire. So help is on the way can kind of just be like, okay, I'm not ignoring it. I recognize that maybe my knee hurts, maybe my ankle is bothering me. I recognize these things. I can tend to them, but I can tend to them from a place of, not grouchiness or upsetness at this minor affliction, but I can make the decision now of, I am healthy now. I'm in my fullest of health. Much like Jesus did with when people bring me complaints about something in their lives. We all are where we are, and we are all doing the best we can with what we have. And there are many ways to improve living, improve being on this planet, and enjoy ourselves more. Many ways to do, what you prefer to do. So many ways. So this isn't the only way. But the statement of Jesus seeing people in their fullest of health, Jesus turning the other cheek, because it's all about attention, right? Everyone says it all the time. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And that is so true. That is so true. That cannot be unproven. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Energy just is. It just is. So we get the choice. We have the choice in every moment. And the more we make it, the easier it gets. But we have the choice in every moment of which direction we want to look in. So back to Neville, daring to assume that you are the person you want to be now. You are taking your attention towards what you prefer, towards what you'd rather experience. And so in this way, we can let the 3D off the hook, because as Abraham Hicks would say, that's old news. That's old news. So we don't have to give it the attention anymore, because it's shown us what it needs to show us. When we are in our awareness, we are aware of that. So being aware is the perfect place to start to make a change. So the next time you're aware, when you're not feeling in your fullest of health, when you're not feeling your best self, you can pat yourself on the back because you caught it. You're aware that you deserve to feel better, that you want to feel better, that what your experience is less than optimal. Awareness is where it all starts. The power of awareness. So when we're daring to assume that we are the person we wish to be, let's start with making a list of the qualities we wish to imbue, we wish to possess. And we can start with affirmations. Like I said, I love my physical body. I am in my fullest of health. If you're looking for a relationship, you go to the end. You don't just ask for the text message. You go to the end. You say, I'm blissfully, happily married. And you imbue that with all the feelings of truth, because our imagination is the true place, according to Neville, and it resonates so deeply with me. Imagination is the true place. So that being said, imagination is the true place. So the world of appearances, guess what? We can transcend it, as Joseph Rodriguez would say. Fantastic leader in the field of Neville on YouTube. Check him out. He's great. So we can transcend the world of appearances. We can transcend the world of appearances. Just awareness is part of transcending the world of appearances and going back to who we really are. And our truth is that we are wonderful, that we are we are consciousness, which is God attempting to become alive in the body, right? And anytime we can feel our deepest appreciation for being alive and our fullness of being alive, and knowing that we can experience, we can do, be, or have anything we wish to experience, we are there. We are there. And if we make our imagination the king or queen of our reality, and we know that that's the important thing, that's where we want to focus, then the world of appearances can fade in the background. And anything we do not wish to experience can start to fade into the background. Anything we wish to experience, anything we wish to experience can come to the forefront because we let go of our attention of what is unwanted. And these things, what we wish, would be different. So, daring to assume that you are the person you wish to be. I think an easy way to start is making a list of those qualities and then making affirmations about those qualities already being so. So I would say about 6 to 8 months ago, I just started adding them into my life. I am strong. I am well able. I am capable. I am disciplined. I am creative. I am consistent, which is a big one for me that I really want to and am going to declare now with you. I will dare to assume it is true now. I am consistent. I am disciplined and consistent with these different avenues of income and things I want to pursue. I'm a bit of a musician, so I am a musician, so I'm working on songs with my songwriting partner weekly. I work in TV, but have, kind of aspirations to do some writing, so I am a writer, right? So these things, I am a YouTuber, So we dare to assume that we are what we wish to be now. We just dare to assume it. And anytime we fall out of the state, it's no big deal because we don't place our attention on it. We think of what is lovely in a good report. And I think this is a perfect way to end this video, because we'll talk about what is lovely in a good report and anything else that comes up from me listening to Neville this week as I listen to and read again, because I'll do both. I do really like to listen to the power of awareness as I go about my day, but I also like to read the words. So next week will be what is lovely in a good report and how to focus on that and how to train ourselves to focus on that rather than the spiraling or worry or anything that doesn't really serve us. So we're going to dare to assume that we are the man or woman or person we wish to be. We're going to dare to assume it. And we're going to be happy in this knowledge, happy in knowing that we can have a good week, and happy in the exploration of our universe while we are in these wonderful physical bodies, and thankful for these physical bodies. And we know that we can have what we desire, because to desire it is to have it. So the kingdom of heaven is within, and it is our Father's good pleasure to give it to us. Something that Neville mentions, and of course that's from the Bible and Neville's interpretations of it through his teachings from Abdullah. So, if you dare to assume, then it's not about how long it takes anything to be. It's not about not feeling worthy, because if you dare to assume you are the person you wish to be, then you are that person. You are worthy. You're immediately all those things. You're immediately worthy. And so it's just like flipping a switch, and it just takes practice to flip the switch with frequency, because we are human, so we will occasionally fall out of the state, but that can be just seen as data, and I'm doing something that doesn't feel so good, or I'm thinking something that doesn't feel so good. All I have to do is make a new choice in this moment to flip the switch again and to dare to assume again, and we will get what we desire. So that is Neville Goddard, dare to assume that you are the person you wish to be now. So that's the start of our power of awareness discussion. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will try to answer them best I can. So anyway, let's have a wonderful week in November, shall we?